This episode of The Casual is brought to you in part by Squarespace. From websites and online stores to all the marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace delivers it in an all-around package so you can build an easy, streamlined, and beautiful online presence. Fashion is everywhere, more ubiquitous than ever, but it still receives the ire of haters, those who view fashion as materialistic, based purely on hype and consumerism, and the industry is filled with posh individuals that look down on those that decided not to partake in the gloriousness that is the fashion industry. Well, it's time to break down why they think that and debunking some of the tired tropes that have plagued fashion and its enthusiasts for years. I'm your boy Reggie Casual. We got 5 of those coming right up on the state. Let's get it. So let's nip this in the bud right here. Most people who hate fashion will often use this critique. Fashion, engaging with it, buying it, whatever, it's all materialistic. Just doing it because you can. It's all about showing off how much money you have, feeling special, yada, 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 blah, 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 whatever, what have you. And they may have a point. People who have that criticism. Fashion can be very materialistic. But so can virtually everything else. Seriously, buying anything non-essential for the basic function of life can be materialistic, and often is. It is. Fashion gets a bad rap because most materialistic things are invisible to the naked eye. Not invisible, but we don't really see them. Like a new phone or TV, new console, wallet, etc. All these things that are virtually confined to the individual, you don't really see it. Clothes, however, are not like that. People can see what you wear, and therefore the criticism made and the line is drawn. Fashion can be materialistic. It is materialistic, admittedly, but it's only criticized harshly because you see people wearing the stuff that may look nice or expensive. And also, people aren't going outside boasting about how many Blu-rays they have. That's just not happening. So a fair criticism, but it's not fair if you're not including all the other info. Now, as a result of being viewed as outwardly materialistic, the main view of the fashion industry to those from the outside is that the people involved are obnoxiously snobbish and tend to look down on those who are not in the club. This became even more discouraging when streetwear enthusiasts started adopting some of the same actions as their high fashion counterparts, albeit streetly, creating barriers to entry and deciding what was acceptable and what was not. Make no mistake, there are a lot of snobbish individuals in fashion, both in street and high, but there are far more people who just want to wear what they want without unnecessary commentary. It's fair to call many fashion insiders a bit overzealous. Hell, people think that about me all the time, but to put that distinction on everyone who wants to wear something nice that suits their taste in a fashionable way may be a bit much. All right, so this is a good one. It's too expensive. Fashion is just too expensive. All right, so yeah, dressing in designer clothes and high-priced brands is expensive, but dressing well is absolutely not expensive. And anybody who says that is basically saying, I'm too lazy to search and to look at the very least presentable. A good pair of jeans can be found at any secondhand store and can be tailored for fairly cheap. It takes nothing to find good fitting pieces or making your clothes dynamic or just making sure that they're presentable, ironed. Hell, an assortment of colored t-shirts and a pair of good fitting pants goes a long way. Vans and Connies are great and dummy cheap compared to Nike and Adidas offerings. Outlet and discount malls are everywhere, so you really have no reason. And even though I don't condone it, fast fashion is relatively cheap and gives you a ton of options. Looking good isn't expensive, that's a lie. It's just thoughtful. Anything thoughtful takes time depending on what you're trying to accomplish. And some people just don't want to take the time for whatever reason, which is the reason they say it's too expensive, because it's time consuming. And this is when we get to seriousness. A lot of people say it's just not that serious, it's just clothes. And for me, I admittedly say this all the time about seriousness, but in a different context. It's not serious to be super duper fashion forward. You don't have to do that. Your style choices should be yours and free from unnecessary vitriolic criticism. You just gotta keep it casual, baby. Let people do what they do. What they're doing ain't killing you, seriously. Are you dead though? Like, are you dead though? Like, are you dead though? No. So keep it moving. But in the other context, you know how many times I hear, it's just clothes, it ain't that serious. I personally hate that. I really do, because it's coming from a completely different place. If it's just clothes and it ain't that serious, then why the hell does virtually everybody wear clothes? Why do professionals go through a painstaking process of being presentable? Why are there rules at certain places for the type of attire you are allowed to wear? Why the hell can I do a YouTube channel about this very subject and get you to watch, huh? How come? And why, pray tell, is the fashion industry a multi-billion-dollar industry? And why is the second richest person on earth Bernard Arnault, the man who owns LVMH, the company that has Louis Vuitton under its umbrella? Clothes and fashion are very serious. And just like anything can be interpreted across a spectrum of ideas, genres, and cultures, clothes are the one thing we can see vividly that tell you a lot about any given individual. It can tell a story without saying a word, much like a picture. The only difference between like fashion and maybe like a painting is that fashion is functional and active because we wear fashion. So it can be seen as less than serious because everybody does it. But make no mistake, clothes, fashion is serious business. And business is effing good. Billion-dollar good. And finally, we get to where all of this culminates, is that fashion doesn't change you. It is said, wear the clothes, don't let the clothes wear you. It's also said that clothes can't change the man, but that's untrue. Like factually, scientifically untrue. Researchers have found that clothes, fashion, and style can play a significant role in how you view yourself and how others perceive you, what scientists have called enclothed cognition. Told you, science. It basically means that wearing certain clothes can determine your mood, confidence, outlook, and even your actions. A suit can make you feel confident. The simple act of carrying gym clothes around can encourage you to work out. And engaging in trends makes you feel good about your future prospects. Makes you feel forward, for lack of a better word. And of course, the colors you wear can send signals to others on how you view the world. We are, as humans, a series of neurological synapses. And every time we think, move, feel, whatever, we send signals to our brain that change our behavior. That's with everything we do. So it makes sense that fashion, one of the most visual things that we partake in, can affect our mood and actions. And if you know anything about humans, our actions speak louder than words, and your first impression is the most important, and that is a large part of why people do engage with fashion. So tell that to the next person who says fashion can't change who you are. It most certainly can, because science. More specifically, biology, chemistry, one of those sciences. It's science. Psychology, one of those too. And that's it. But what are some other criticisms of fashion that people or you might have? Or you can discuss the ones that we presented here. You can agree, you can disagree, whatever. Let that be known in the comments. Be sure to follow on Instagram. That's popping up. And of course, keep it locked right here for all of your info on international street fashion and culture from Tokyo. It's your boy, and keep it casual. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. I'll see you guys in a minute. And don't forget to check out our partner Squarespace for your next website or business venture. You can get a free trial plus 10% off once you start simply by using our link in the description. That's squarespace.com/thecasual. And Squarespace will get you started fast with easy to use templates, analytics, email marketing, and even Instagram shop integration for you power users out there. We use Squarespace on our site and the transition was easy, painless, and worth it. So again, use our link, squarespace.com/thecasual to get started today.